it's a two-part question. Is one, what is, if you have one, because a lot of people don't have one, or maybe they've only played a few, so they can't say definitively. But what is your favorite Star Wars game? And then two, if you were to make a Star Wars video game, what would it be about, or what would it entail?
Oh,
that's
I
kind
like
of my
these
question
questions.
to you and to chat.
What do you guys got? Can Han Solo beat Indiana Jones in a fight? Wait, we'll get to that in a second. Let's is that a game idea? Are you suggesting as a game idea? Favorite Lego Star Wars obvi? Ooh, okay. I've heard a lot of people. I think a lot of people like it. Cantina Simulator. What is Cantina Simulator? Can you walk us through it? Salad dance, please.
Is this your idea for a game?
I think it's his idea.
Jedi
Okay,
Academy.
what would it look like? Jedi Academy's fun too. Does Jedi Academy exist? Is that a thing? Is that a game?
Jedi Academy is the sequel to Jedi Outcast. It was on Xbox, and I believe it came out on. It was definitely on Xbox and PC. It's basically you build your own Jedi powers, lightsabers up, and you play through the story as them making decisions,
Nice.
light side, dark side. It's a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely good.
Okay. And by the way, the Jedi Cantina Simulator is like Sims, but you run a cantina. Okay.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. It started off as a joke, I feel like, but dude, that's a good idea. Not necessarily just the cantina, but like maybe like a whole town, like City Skylines or Sim City, and you run like a part of Coruscant or something.
Okay,
That'd be pretty cool.
But hear me out. I just had a great idea for a movie based on this. All right. Here it is. All right. This guy runs a lowly cantina in the slums of some city. Okay. But he by day he's a cantina runner because everyone day drinks. I guess I don't know. And by night he's a Jedi vigilante that runs around the city and fights crime with his lightsaber.
Are you talking about like melding John Wick with like Cheers and have the guy be a Jedi?
I'm talking meld like I don't even know, like some like any standard vigilante TV show, but now except he's a Jedi that fight that like a retired Jedi that just bought a cantina and fights crime with his lightsaber. And he has like some dope like yellow lightsaber for some reason, and he just like and he wears a dark cloak.
It's an awesome idea. I like that. That's
it's Arrow, but he has a lightsaber.
Mr. Exactly. Otter actually has more Star Wars knowledge than I figured he did. Because I figured he did it. Dude, you have some Star Wars knowledge because you knew B. Arthur in the holiday special. That's pretty good, dude. I'm impressed.
He's a heavy Star Wars fan.
I haven't talked about this. I thought about talking about it at the beginning. I'm such a big Star Wars fan. I have a Star Wars tattoo on my back. I've read probably like 100 novels, books, and stuff, different comic books. I've played every single game except for some of the original ones on the Atari and some of the original arcade games. I've played every single Star Wars game.
Okay.
I have never finished Clone Wars because I'm lame and didn't love it. But you have Blink-182 on your back. That's pretty sweet. I thought about doing that. I have the Rebel symbol on my right shoulder. But I love I like how you guys said Battlefront 2 because that's number 2 in my head for my favorite.
What's number 1 for you again?
For me, it's definitely Knights of the Old Republic. I feel like I need to stop talking about it because I've talked about it like 60 times on this. No, Knights of the Old Republic, if you've never played it, you can get it on your phone right now for $5. You could get it on Steam for $5, I think. You could get it on the Xbox Live store for $10. Not Xbox Live, on the Xbox One store. It's not on PS4 or any PlayStation because it was originally an original Xbox exclusive for consoles. So it'll never come to anything PlayStation. But it is such a beautifully crafted story. The second one's really good as well. It's made by Obsidian. You guys know Obsidian. They just did the Game of the Year nominated Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Fallen Order is made by Respawn, which is another one of my favorite developers. All three of those were really good games. The Fallen Order is up there for me. On Suns Gaming, we have an Instagram page, and a while ago we did a what is the best like an elimination game. Right now we're running. Sometimes they get traction, sometimes they don't. But the Star Wars one got some decent traction.
You're running
but our top four
right now. Yeah, I'm trying to get a double dash to the victory.
I know. I'm trying to get smashed to it, but we have in the final four for the best Star Wars games. We had Battlefront 2, EA, which was to me the greatest comeback story in the probably history of video games. It was so bad at launch, and now it's one of my favorite games. Knights of the Republic 2, Knights of the Republic 1, and Battlefront 2, the original one made by Pandemic. Rest in peace, Pandemic. So yeah, those and Complete Saga and Fallen Order were eliminated right. On a new Elder Scrolls game, dude. Imagine if Bethesda, I'm talking just pre or right after Skyrim, Bethesda made a Star Wars game. How good that would be.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah. I could see it. I'd ship it. Also, what you said, I'd like
open world RPG in the same vein as Bethesda, Obsidian or Bethesda make an open world Star Wars game like The Outer Worlds, like Fallout 4, Skyrim, Oblivion, one of those games. That would be the game I would make probably. Yeah. I would also love to see another one that I would see is if Ubisoft made a open world Star Wars game like Far Cry. So if they made a Far Cry 5, Far Cry 3 Star Wars game where you play as a scoundrel during the Imperial Age and you're on a planet trying to smuggle, maybe you're a bad guy, you could be a good guy, you could be a rebel, whatever they decide. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, is that if you had an open world where you could really decide what you want to do. I mean, just imagine that Far Cry 3, if you've ever played the Far Cry games, there's a section where you have to clear different bases. Imagine having to clear a base of stormtroopers, and there's 3-4 different types of stormtroopers there. You have the heavy troopers, you have the scout troopers up in the towers, you have the regular stormtroopers, and you have to clear them out. That would be so cool. So those would be the two games I would make.
How about this? Halo Wars, but Star Wars. All right, like the typical what? How does it go? Like a regular, like you create your base and then you build your armies and you send them out to fight off whatever. Like one of those, like a StarCraft kind of thing, but like with Star Wars. And it's just, I know it's not. That would be much more niche, but I like those kind of games. I think that could be kind of fun. I can tell you're not enthused, but listen, I'm sold on this one. You there? Did I lose you? You there? Might have lost you for a second. Huh. I'm not sure. Let me check where he's at. He's dead, yeah. It must be. That's the. See, I find whenever you can't find somebody, that's the only logical explanation. I just assume anyone that I have is not in the room with me has died. So that's just how I live my life. It's a very sad life, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I think I don't know. I think it has potential. But anyway, here's the thing. What do you guys? How could you say that, Burke? Sorry, Salad Dance. You're Well, I guess the only reason I know you're alive is because you're put in this chat. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on like that. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys think that could be real-time strategy? That's the name of it. I'm trying to think of the name of it. All right, Open Star Wars. I think that's a good one. Who's that? I'm working through Coder. I don't know what that Coder is. Alien hunting. Okay, here's an idea. So we already saw like the Mandalorian do a little bit of like hunting beasts. What if they did like a show or a game where it's kind of like you're a monster hunter, like you're like you travel the globe like stars and you're like hunting big game, like big monsters and stuff, right? Like that could be a cool game. All right, he's coming back. He got his mic unplugged, so he's just trying to get that fixed back up. Ewok dating sim. That could be fun. Okay. I'm trying to think. Isn't there a game that's kind of like that? Also, I'm thinking is Monster Seeking Monster on which is that game on Jackbox Games. So maybe they put something like that, but a Star Wars version where you're just Ewoks. So Monster Hunter, yeah, Monster Hunter, but like Star Wars. That would be sick. That'd be so cool. Especially like you could have like maybe you could pick classes, right? And like some of the classes you could be like you could be a Mandalorian or you could be a Jedi or you could be a Sith, and like it depends on how like you want the storyline to go. I don't know. Like you could do like other option. Okay. I don't know what time period this be set in. Pasco, did we get you back? Not yet. Sometimes you hunt younglings. Okay, here's the suggestion. I don't know if there'd be any other classes, but maybe something like an MMO, a Star Wars MMO. I'm thinking something in the lines of like Elder Scrolls Online, where there's like the factions, right? And you have like different factions. Are you there? Hey, I can hear you.
There we go. Okay, so for some reason Discord ruined it. I was really mad earlier when you were talking about because I was trying not to. I was trying to jump in with the Halo Wars thing, and I was like, "It's an RTS," and you were like, and you kept talking, and it sounded to me. And you were like, "Yeah, I can't figure." And I was like, "It's a freaking RTS," and then you were like, "I can't figure it out." I was like, "Burke, they've literally had like 5 different RTSs in the Star Wars world." And you kept describing what you wanted this game to look like. Yeah, and then I was like, dang it. And then I looked and I saw that my mic wasn't working, and I was like, okay. And then you go, are you there? And that's when it like dawned on me. And so then I had to go around and try and fix this, and it was some stupid problem on Discord's end. So anyways, I'm back now. I like your idea.
You just hated it so much that you were just silent. You were like,
it was fine. It's a good idea. They've just done it. So in 2001, they had one. I forget the name of it. 2001, again, they had another one called Galactic Battlegrounds, which was made by the same people who made Age of Empires. And then around 2006, 2007, they had one that was both land and space combat called Empire at War, which most people consider to be the definitive best Star Wars RTS. So they've had a few. They've had at least 3, maybe 4. But I think that they could be done better. Like a StarCraft one, if you did one like, who makes StarCraft? It's Blizzard. If Blizzard made a Star Wars game, made a Star Wars RTS, that'd be awesome.
All right, StarCraft, but you do... it's basically StarCraft, but instead of Protoss, Terran, and Zerg, it's Jedi, or it's the Rebels, the Order, and then... Or no, not the Order. Why am I blanking? Someone help me.
You hunt younglings. Monster Hunter would be awesome. Sometimes you hunt younglings.
Yeah. What am I blanking on? Why am I blanking on the Rebels and what?
The Empire?
The Empire. Oh my goodness. I'm like, sorry guys. I'm apologizing on behalf of everybody. On all of. I'm just. You know what? I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. Rebels, it's fine.
So you have the Rebels and the Empire, and then maybe like is there any like third parties really, or is it just kind of like the two? I'm trying to think. I don't really. I mean, the Mandalorians are kind of
you could do it a lot of different ways. In Galactic Battlegrounds, you could play as a ton of different. You could even play as the Gungans. You could play as the Gungans, the Wookiees,
what are the Gungans?
Empire.
Am I thinking
Gungans? That's Jar Jar's race.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
On Naboo. You could play at. I mean, you could have a lot of different ways. I would say the best way to do it would have it be, if you're having 3 and you're basing it around the original trilogy, you could do Black Sun, which is, if you've seen Solo, that's what Darth Maul, the crime syndicate he runs. You could do a crime syndicate, and then you could have like a 4th group, which could be like the Mandalorians could be cool, but their resources were so low during the time of the Empire. Mandalorians, that'd be hard, but
yeah.
Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Who is Salad Dance, by the way, Burke? Who is that? Is that someone I know? They said I missed Pascal. Did you just miss my voice talking about Star Wars?
I don't think he actually knows you.
Oh. That's cool.
So here's the thing. I have another idea. So I was just getting into it. Okay, an MMO similar to like I guess there's a lot of them, but Elder Scrolls, how like Elder Scrolls Online has like 3 factions, right? So you have 3 factions. You can travel across like planets, right? But then there's the PV, there's the PVE and then the PvP zones, right? That a lot of MMOs have, where it's like you're fighting monsters or you can fight other factions. Like there's certain areas where you can go to fight other factions. Those would be planets, okay? And the planets would be like, you'd have planets where they're like PvP zones where you can go and fight the other factions for control over those planets, right? And depending on like how much control you have, you may be able to get access to like certain special like vehicles, like ships and stuff like that. But the 3 factions are the Jedi, the Sith, and the Mandalorians. And there's like, and you'd have to find a time period where you could actually make that work. But like you have those 3 factions. So if you're one of those factions, you're going to be a Jedi, you're going to be a Sith, or you're going to be a Mandalorian, and each of those has their own special perks and abilities you get to access to. And then basically, when you're in your own areas, you just do missions to become more strong, powerful. Maybe you like.
You're cracking me up, dude.
Dude, wouldn't that be? Is that something else that exists?
Yeah, it's called the Old Republic. It's been around since 2011. It's probably the 2nd or 3rd most popular MMO.
Dude, I need to get playing that.
This is hilarious. Keep them coming, dude. You've come up with some good ideas that exist. I want you to like.
We're gonna
so,
make
what
this
would be your
section of
best
the
idea
video,
for a movie? Would you like your best Star Wars movie? Would you have the villain like come out to be the main protagonist's father?
Hear me out.
That would be a good idea.
A great idea for a movie.
Good idea.
Great idea for a Star Wars movie. Okay, there's these good guys, right? They're called I don't know, the rebellionists, right? Okay. And they're gonna fight against some like big ruler, like a kingdom, maybe, or something, right?
Maybe like an empire, like the ancient
like
Roman
that,
Empire.
Right? Yeah, and then they fight. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
It was so funny. I wanted to see how long you could go because you literally described the Old Republic. I've never been a big fan of it, but that's awesome.
So in other words, when I make the thumbnail for this specific section on YouTube, it's just going to be Burke recreates the entire history of Star Wars video games by accident.
Hilarious. One of the best ones that I'd ever come up with for a game. Yeah, I saw that one. If I could make any game, it would be a Star Wars game. Outside of the 2 I presented about the open world. Yeah, but I would want to make it's kind of complicated, so you have to stay with me for about 2 minutes. So what the game is it's procedurally generated, and you go in and you don't know what you're going into. You could make it single player, you could make it co-op or multiplayer. I don't care how you do it, just it has to be this concept. So when you go into the level or the game or the mission or whatever you do, you like say one time you wake up and you're a rebel soldier inside of an Imperial prison and your job is to escape, and you could be one of you and there could be 6 of you and you're trying to escape from a group of Imperial soldiers, and there's 6 or 7 of them, another team playing as them. You don't know what the situation is. You're just going to be thrust into it. Maybe one time you're an Imperial soldier trying to sneak onto a rebel planet and take out some rebel general, something like that, where it's a procedurally generated mission-based thing where you have similar structures. Maybe they kind of plan out some of the levels and some of the maps, but you don't necessarily know what you're going to go into. And the main point is I think it would create some suspense as to when you're going into that level, you don't know what you're going to be or how you got to do it. But if you played this multiplayer, it's like Rainbow Six Siege level planning, because you know how much planning goes into Rainbow Six Siege. Mm-hmm. But imagine that level of planning on the fly in a Star Wars universe, and something where people care about the characters and the things that happened. That would be the main thing that I would want to, that could be invoked.